Going. Hey guys, thanks for coming on tonight. You want to give yourself just a little introduction to everybody?
Yeah, I'm Sarah Poli. I'm from Benton. I go to high school at Lawrence. And yeah.
Hi, Mom. I'm Deb Poli.
Awesome.
I work at Lawrence.
Awesome. Well, thanks for jumping on. And this is just really, we want to introduce you guys a little bit to the CM family. So I just want to talk a little bit about the recruiting process and how we got from where we started to where we are now. So I guess I'll just jump in and start the convo with, Sarah, you get an email from me kind of introducing you to our women's basketball program. What's going through your mind? What do you know about the program? I guess we'll start there.
I didn't know much about it. Like, I don't think I've ever heard of it, actually. But so I just decided to take a look. I went on the Zoom call with you. I looked at the website, and I saw that it was sparking some interest.
Nice. So you mentioned the Zoom call. So after we get the email, we start going back and forth, and then we schedule a Zoom call pretty quickly, and Mom was on that call. So we talked for, an hour or two at that time. What was going through your head during that Zoom meeting? And then once we got off, I guess what were some of your biggest takeaways?
Well, at first I was nervous because it was I think it was my first college call. So I didn't really know what to expect. But after you explaining what you guys do over there, I did really like it a lot, and talked to Mom about it after and decided that was still sparking interest.
Yeah. And Mom, what were some of your biggest takeaways from that first Zoom call?
That you were very family friendly.
Yeah.
I liked that you expressed your communication was that you're a big family. Education wise, athletic wise. It was a smaller campus. And I like that. I like close enough to home. And you mentioned that it's a 4-year, the program she was getting into is the business transfer, and that you help her proceed on to the 4-year college. So there was a lot to it. And this is my first time too, as well, having the interview.
Yeah, I think the family aspect is definitely something that we take a lot of pride in. And as we talked about on the call, in our opinion, most coaches only care about one thing, and that's winning. And at CM, we take a lot of pride in the fact that, if you care about the kids first and you take care of the kids, the winning takes care of itself, and that's something that we, in our whole athletic department from top to bottom, really do take a lot of pride in. So we have that Zoom call, right? And then the next step is, hey, let's get you to campus, right? So we're progressing down up the ladder here, right? And it's getting more serious and we're both more invested into this process because obviously, Sarah, you and I are talking this whole time, right? Whether it's texting or social media or
yes,
whatever it is. So you never been to campus before. You pull on campus. We throw another hour or two with you, right, of more information and seeing everything for the first time. What were your thoughts as you're going through the tour and then on the ride home? What were you and Mom talking about the most?
Well, I really liked how it was all connected. Well, not all connected, but for the most part, how it was small, but it was still big. And I liked how close the classrooms were. And the classrooms were small in numbers too. The professors would know who I was, and they would know that I'm on the basketball team. And I also really liked the basketball dorms, how they all room together.
Yeah, that's something that's that we find important for sure. And what about you, Mom?
Okay, when when we pulled into the driveway, she had a grin on her face coming up. She was so excited. First, she saw the sign with her picture on it. That just made her day. Then we got inside, and the rest of it, it was just a permanent grin. I can tell you when we drove in, and she probably didn't even need the tour, and she had her mind made up. But when we left there, I mean, that was it. She knew that was the place. She knew that was the place. She did, financially, I mean, we can't go wrong, as parents. It was very personal in the classrooms, like the student professor ratio. And I love that the professors are like right across from the classroom areas. So they're accessible. You had some pretty cool equipment in there too.
Yeah.
And the TVs and even the other programs that she's not interested in were amazing. But yeah, I think she knew from when we walked out that door, that was.
Yeah. So.
That was it.
Yeah. So that I guess that leads me into my next question for you, Sarah, is, I mean, obviously, in my opinion, we've talked about this. I feel like you're one of the best players in the state. Definitely one of the top 10 seniors, if not higher, and probably one of the top 10, 20 players in the entire state, regardless of class or region or whatever. So you were hearing from other schools, in state, out of state. So how did this change your recruitment from other schools? So you visit. What was it, in fact, like, oh wow, this is a done deal, or were you still talking to other schools and they were just, I guess, how did that all break down for you?
So I still was talking to other schools. I actually went on a tour, but I didn't like it as much as I did CM. I don't know. I just really had my mind made up, and like, I didn't want CM to be my only tour that I schooled because I wanted to make sure. So I went to the other one, and I just really decided then that it was going to be my school.
Yeah. So I think I told you on your visit, go visit other schools, right? I wanted you to go visit because I don't know. We're pretty comfortable and confident with obviously what our campus has to offer and the experience people have when they come to tours. So yeah, we wanted you to get out there and visit. And it's really important. I think every other student athlete we recruit is being recruited by Division III schools or NAI schools or whatever it is. And sometimes it's weird for people, to get like, I'm being recruited by CM, but then I'm being recruited by Division III schools. But it's like, I don't know. I guess sometimes that can be a little tricky for them to wrap their mind around, and the fact that, well, no, I want to go to CM over all of these, really expensive or really, really nice, Division III schools, private schools, out-of-state schools, and things like that. So, yeah, we are definitely glad that you went on that visit. But I had a feeling that your mind was made up while you're on the visit. I'm like, okay, I think we got a good chance. I've been fooled before, but it's very, very rare. So, yeah, I'm just obviously glad that came to fruition. So let's talk a little basketball. Like, on the court, I know what I think you bring to the table. What do you think you bring to the table?
I think that I bring versatility, that I can play a little bit of every position. So whether you need me to be a post or a guard, I can do both.
Yeah, I think that's what impressed me the most from watching you play when you were a little bit younger in high school to watching you play junior year to then now watching you play this past fall, is how much better you've gotten. You went from just kind of like a bruiser, just like someone who's physical inside, to, I came up to watch you play fall ball, and here you are bringing the ball up, 6-7 straight possessions, pushing it on the fast break. And I'm like, wow, this has happened really, really quick, and your ability to step outside and hit that 3-point shot now, I don't know. And I've said this to you before, and I don't know if it's an unfair comparison or puts unnecessary pressure on you or not, but, the CM family is very well aware of Maggie Sabine, and you just watching you play, I was like having flashbacks, and to me, the opportunity to coach another player who, like, as versatile as Maggie is obviously extremely exciting, because she's one of the best to ever do it here. So no pressure. If there was one word to describe yourself as a player, what would that word be, and then why?
I would say smart, because I make smart decisions, whether it's passing the ball. If I'm in the post, I know when to kick it out, or I know when to go up with it. I can see the floor pretty good. And yeah.
Passionate. Your passion.
Is that's the word you would use, Mom?
I would use passionate. You know, focused, determined. I could go on. I mean, it's just, it's her thing. And she goes to always improving herself as well as improving the entire team. Yeah. It's not just about getting herself better. It's about getting everyone better.
Yeah, it's okay to brag a little bit here. You know, I think that's important. But I think passionate is probably a better word, you know, to describe her. When I watch fall ball, like fall ball to me is not like serious, right? Yet here Sarah is taking an offensive foul and then, you know, full on Superman diving on a loose ball and then blocking cuts inside and playing like it's the state championship game when her team's up by 30 in a random Waterville fall league game. You know, it's like, oh my gosh.
Totally.
Watch out, here she comes.
Yeah, so it's like when I see that, I get excited because it's like, man, if she's willing to do that for fall league, imagine what she's going to do when it's actually on the line, you know, when the pressure's cranked up and when there's hundreds of people cheering against her or for her in the stands, you know. So that's, you know, that's what excited me the most. It's like every time I came to watch, and obviously I was there almost every Sunday because I couldn't get enough. It's like I just, you know, just fell in love with her game more and more every time I watched her play. So I just, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's for sure. I guess my last question for you is what, before you probably have a couple for me, but what, how do I word this the right way? Like, do you have a message for the CM family? Like, so the CM family, they have a high expectation for the women's basketball program, obviously. And our alumni of our program are very passionate. Do you have a message for them?
Expect that I'll give my all, not only on the court, but also in the classroom. And I will be the best that I can be.
Oh, good. That's awesome. I think that's fair, and I think that falls in line of, you know, what we would want and what our alumni would want to hear. So they will hold you accountable, especially during that alumni game. They come to win, and they're going to see this, and some of them will remember and say, "Oh yeah, remember you said this, and I'm gonna be watching you." And they're very passionate.
No mercy, no mercy,
never.
So, did you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I do. What about me caught your eye?
I think I touched on it a little bit, but it was just the fact that you were playing the fall league, you know, random fall league game, up by 30, like it was the state championship game, you know, or like you were back in the Civic Center during tourney week. You know, to me, that says a lot about your character. And you gotta, like, people understand, like, in 5 minutes, a college coach can figure out if a player's good enough or not to play at their level. It's all the other things that we look for. You know, how do you react when you're in foul trouble, when you make a mistake? What about when you miss a shot versus make a shot? When you're on the bench, how do you interact with your teammates and your coaches and things like that? And how do you just approach the game? I feel like so many kids today have lost the willingness to compete, you know, and you just, that's like your aura. Like that's what you want to do. Like you just want to compete. And I don't know, that just blew me away. But the very first time I really took notice of you was last year. It was a home game. You were playing Coney. And I was sitting with Coach LeBanc from Skowhegan and Coach Gray from Gardner, who was there. They were scouting you guys in Coney. And I just see this redhead inside just pushing people around, throwing her weight around, and just overpowering people and just gobbling up every rebound that was going, you know, every missed shot. And I'm like, I look at them and I'm like, who is this girl? Where did she?
Where did she come from?
And they were like, yeah, she's gotten a lot better really quick. That's Sarah Poli. I'm like, okay, well, that's the name I'm not going to forget. I got to watch her again and again and again and again. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess another rarity is a lot of people don't want to play physical anymore. You know, they want to avoid the contact, and you like invite it. You kind of like grin about it. Like you look forward to it, you know, that playing physical and everything. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
She
think
thrives for that.
Yeah, that's my favorite type of game, definitely.
it was just a match made for sure. So any other questions, Mom? Do you have anything?
No, you've pretty much answered my questions. The same thing that she had. What caught your eye about her? You know, I think it's gonna be a good relationship. I think it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I do too. I'm really looking forward to obviously Sarah getting down here, and obviously I hope you guys have a senior season. But you know, I think if you don't, or if it's extremely limited, it's, you know, it's not going to feel normal. But either way, now you have the light at the end of the tunnel, right? And you have a lot to look forward to, and you know, you have a second home, you know, there waiting for you and inviting you with open arms. So yeah, we'll just be ready and waiting for you whenever we can get you.
And she's ready now.
Yeah,
she's ready.
We are too. Trust me. I wish fall 2021, that season, man. We're so excited about obviously Sarah coming.
Yeah.
Our recruiting class has a lot of Maine girls that Sarah's familiar with, but it also has some out of state and out of country girls. So it's going to be next season is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be it's going to be exciting. I'm chomping at the bit already to get after it. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys taking the time tonight to do this, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Have a good night.